Hello, hi guys, welcome to the Two Dogs Podcast. I'm Dr. Ali here.
And I'm Dr. Inky, and welcome to the podcast. Two medical doctors generally speak on things which are non-medical, self-help kind of thing. And the way we do it is each of us will research one topic and then we try and educate and present to the next person. And I have no idea what
And I have no idea what it's going to be talking on this next session also. So we kind of just throw back and forth and then we add a lot of value to one.
Yes, exactly. So for this session, Ali is going to be presenting.
So, well, Dr. Inky and I went down to Singapore recently, though we never meet each other at all.
It's two separate trips.
No.
Two separate trips.
You know, same occasion.
Same location.
Same occasion. Separately go and la-di-da, never even bump into each other.
Never bump into each other.
Yeah, he was busy with celebrities. Anyway, coming back to Singapore. So I haven't been to Singapore since I think pre-COVID. How about you?
Same as well. This is my first time back to Singapore ever since the entire pandemic started.
So that's like at least about 3 years, right?
At least 3 years.
About 3 years. And you know, once upon a time, okay, our south neighbor, they are more advanced, everything, but we've always, made fun of some of the things like food, etc. We always put ourselves high and mighty, and we say they are just kings of marketeers and they're not really up to mark, right? So, this is totally off topic. But did you manage to go out and makan?
I ate I think in Suntec. I was in Suntec. So for the lunch, I didn't want to take the bento set, so I went out and then I ate at Suntec itself.
Okay. So I had this marathon, so I told myself I'm gonna do chili crabs.
Chili crabs,
and then at the same time, eat peripherally, whatever they have. So I went to this East Coast Park.
Okay.
So they've got this food lagoon. If you guys haven't been there, it's quite an interesting place in East Coast Park. It's pretty much like an open air food court, lots of food. The chili crab there is particularly to my liking because it's a bit spicy. But again, it's a food court. So order a lot of other stuff. I had satay and Inky, it's one of the best satay I've had.
Really? Even better than Malaysian Airlines satay?
Malaysian Airlines is gone. Cannot. That one, they have to get rid of that.
They already got rid of Brahmins already.
No. They extend until end of
is it extended again?
Yeah. Was that Brahim?
Brahim, sorry.
So anyway, well, their satay is not as chunky as ours, but it was well marinated into the core. So you get all the flavors inside, and I was surprised. I was really surprised. I would say almost every food I had there, including the chicken wings, was good. Similar to our Wong Awal.
Okay.
That quality lah.
Okay, that's good.
Which is quite good. It's quite good. So pleasant trip all together, all in all. And I think if we don't buck up, we might start falling behind their food chart.
Yeah, but I think one of the reasons why food in Singapore generally, I think the quality is getting better. It is almost the same as the concept in Japan, right? So I was in Japan and I never had a single meal which was bad. It was always good. And one of the explanation from the Japanese is because rent is so expensive, you cannot afford to be mediocre.
True.
If you were mediocre, you wouldn't have enough clients coming in, customers coming in, and then your business would just collapse.
Yeah, and
that's what's happening in Singapore.
And to be fair, I think the food is the same price as Malaysia, except it's in Singaporean dollars.
Yeah.
So in other words, we're paying like 3 times the value. So let's say if I'm having a meal that's worth 50 ringgit here, it's $50 there. So for the same meal, it's technically 150 ringgit worth of ingredients.
Yes. Yeah. So the access to ingredients would be better.
Better. I give for example.
Better quality.
Before we go to the topic, last one. So I had access to crabs. So the first day when I went, right, they told me, we ran out of the large crabs. So we only have medium. So we said, okay lah. Don't have large, go medium. So initially, we all wanted to order, a bunch of us wanted to order 2 large crabs. So we said, to compensate for 2 large, we have 4 medium ones. Okay. And the fella just stares at us, are you sure you want 4 medium?
These guys are crazy.
Ambitious, and then he says, 你们的数学很好. Your maths is damn good. So I'm like, okay, never mind, doesn't matter. Because in my mind, right, the Malaysian large is
like
okay lah. Then the medium is quite small, So I'm like thinking 4 medium should be alright. When it arrived, that 4 medium, each of the medium is larger than our large. and the final meal I had access to the large crab. Inky, the body, right, is my fist is already quite big, and it's twice my fist, just the body. The claw, each claw is literally my fist. It weighed 1.6 kilos.
Whoa, just one crab.
One crab. Guess how much?
Huge. I have no idea.
Guess only lah.
Okay lah.
$180.
$180. Ringgit lah.
No. dollars Sing
dollars.
times 3.5.
Oh wow.
Yes. That's like 500.
It's about 500
close to
ringgit,
600.
Yeah.
Close to 600 ringgit for one crab. And I think that's basically it. Well, they don't have their own crab, so I'm sure they got it from either Malaysia or wherever. So in Malaysia, you can never sell one crab for 600 ringgit.
Yeah.
No one will go to your
It's not
establishment.
easy, yeah.
And there, it was sold out.
Yeah, and you were saying that this was at the food court.
This one was at the restaurant already.
Okay,
But
so the next
again,
one's at the
it's not those.
It's not as big
It's not the
fancy
fancy
ones,
ones. It's actually at the housing area. So one crab, 1.6 kilo, costs 600 ringgit. So I think that's basically it. So coming back, lessons I learned from Singapore, which will be applicable to us in improving your overall productivity. Okay. So one thing I learned, number one, they've got this concept: be visionary tomorrow, but be excellent today.
Okay, that's good.
Whereas we have Vision 2020.
We have a lot of vision.
We have a lot of vision.
but there's nothing.
Then we say we do the excellence tomorrow.
Yeah. We will just delay until that date. Say, hey, you know what?
Yes. Deadline next week.
Deadline next week. Okay,
Let's
we will
do an excellent job now.
Correct.
I thought that was amazing. You know, this tagline: be visionary tomorrow, but be excellent today. And basically, it just boils down to the attitude that. You have a vision that you want to achieve tomorrow, but today, whatever you do is par excellence. You have to achieve the best.
Yeah, I think it's because even for regular Singaporeans, right? Ever since at a young age, they really study really hard. They work really hard because they want to get into a good school, right? In the good high school. So they start, at a very young age. They start putting in effort at a very young age, and it translates when they're adults. Because they know that, hey, if I want to be someone or I want to get my country somewhere, I need to put in the work today. I can't put in the work last minute, like few days before the deadline. Right? I need to put it years and years
Because
ahead of time.
if you're not doing it, the next person is doing it,
right.
the next person is also doing it.
right.
But I think it also boils down to opportunity. Opportunity there really relies on excellence.
Yeah,
When you're excellent, you're given the spot. You're
That's
given that chance to shine.
that's right.
So I think it boils down to also a bit of a system, whereby the system recognizes excellence rather than position, power, or who you know.
The one you are totally true. So in Singapore, it's basically they do things based on merits. And they have no qualms importing people that can do the job better than you.
Yes, even if you're local.
Even if you're local. Correct. So hence that's why in Singapore now there's tons of expats.
Yes.
And it's because the Singapore government is saying, hey, if you locals are not willing to put in the work for this, I'm going to get someone else from other countries to come in to put in the work, and then you will lose your job.
Correct.
And this is not what we see in most countries. In most countries, there's
Protect the locals first.
There's this very defensive position whereby, hey, I'm going to protect the locals first. I don't care whether they are bad at their job
good
or the good.
whatever.
I don't care as long as they
Protect
have a
them
job.
first. Correct.
And if there is an access and I have positions to fill, after that, then only I'll invite some of the foreigners to come in.
Correct. So we don't talk about just Malaysia, because a lot of people say, Malaysia is one of those countries.
It's actually very common all over the world.
Australia is one prime example. So they will look after the locals, and if you're a foreigner coming in, you are literally an immigrant and you're not invited to come in. You have to go through so much of stringent process just to go in to be a skilled worker in that country. So it's not just about Malaysia. As much as people would say, Malaysia is like that.
No, it's actually all over the world. It's
Correct.
the same.
But Singapore is one of those countries whereby if you're good, we want you.
Yes.
And if you as a local, you're not doing well, you may, export yourself to a different country and find easier jobs that suits you.
Yep.
And it's, for me, for a country that it's so-called very advanced, a lot of the menial jobs are actually done by the locals.
Yes.
Because that's what they need to fill in.
Yes,
That's
right.
what they need to fill in. And because you want to stay in Singapore.
Yeah. So for them is, hey, if you can't fill the high positions, then I'm sorry, but then there are some of the lower end positions for you to fill up.
Correct. Now, point number 2 that I also learned, it's what is known as unadulterated intention. So whatever they want to do, when they set the goal, which comes back to the first point, when they set the goal, that's the goal. There is no,
There's no changing the
no
goalpost.
changing the goalpost. Just because you cannot score, let's make the goalpost wider for you, make it taller for you, make the ball a bit smaller, or we give the keeper a 5-minute break kind of thing. No, the goal is a goal, and they have to set it and they have to reach for it really, really hard. And again, I think if we use this and we put it back into our daily life, if we set a target, we should achieve it. If it's a fitness goal, you have to achieve it. Don't move the goalpost.
Don't move the goalpost. Don't give yourself excuses.
Don't give yourself excuses. You can analyze when you fail, but fail first.
Yes.
Fail first, fail gloriously, but fail so that you learn, not fail and give up. Next one is being inclusive. It's a very inclusive country. Having said such, it's a very inclusive country. And when I say inclusive, means there's no special status of anyone there.
Yep.
Of anyone there. And if we use this back into our daily life, our daily work, right? The more inclusive you are of ideas, of people that you work with, no cliques, you actually fare better. If you said, okay, just because we're doctors, we just want to hang out with doctors, then you're not going to learn about business.
That's true.
You're not going to learn about business. And I think that is a common social flaw that a lot of us have.
Yeah.
We're comfortable being in our own comfort zone, talking to the same people, doing the same thing. But we want to achieve different results. So I find as a general thing that's going on there, the system, not so much the people, some of it's still quite inclusive.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can't really change human behavior.
Yeah. So the social thing you can't really change, but as a system, right? When you see the system that they have, it's very interesting that they make it so inclusive. I remember pre-COVID when I went to Singapore, I had the pleasure of going on a walk just around the city area, and I saw a guy with a black color kopiah. Our kopiah is all white color, right?
Correct.
Yeah, this one is a black kopiah.
Okay, why is it black?
He's a Jew.
Oh.
There was a Jewish place of
There
worship
was a
nearby.
Jewish, okay.
Being in Malaysia and we don't see all this, right? I feel very jakun. I feel like,
Like, wow. Never seen a Jew before.
Never seen a Jew before. Never seen the Jew before. We rate them as untouchables, unseenable. kind of category,
Unfortunately, in some countries, they have gone underground.
Yeah.
Because they fear the backlash.
Yeah.
If they appear in public.
Yeah.
and that's why there are a lot of things they
Correct.
actually
And if they want to practice whatever right?
they want to practice, they have to practice indoors.
Correct. Behind closed doors.
Yeah, behind closed doors.
And then even if they introduce themselves, they also
try to
water it down a little bit.
yes.
Yeah. So where else there? They're just walking around in plain public sight, and I thought, wow, that is fantastic. Fantastic. Right. Last one, which comes to the point of how their leadership used to be. But I think this one probably applies more to Lee Kuan Yew's era. Was that he does what is known as servant leadership. He's a public servant, but he serves people.
First. Yeah.
Serves first, and not try to get benefits first. Not to get benefits first. I think this is it's easier said than done. In politics,
I would say it's easier said than done because it's human nature to be greedy.
To be greedy,
especially when you're placed in a position of power
for short duration.
For a short duration, most humans end up being greedy. Hence is why it's not easy for a politician not to be greedy unless, of course, their motive in the first place was good and the system has not corrupted them. Because I actually know a lot of people go into politics with good intention, but the system corrupts them.
System corrupts them because it's fed into such a way. It's kind of like you watch those movies whereby a good cop goes in, and then if he doesn't take the bribe, everyone's going to say that guy's a snitch, is a rat, so he needs to take at least one bribe just to
and
make
once you take it once, you never stop.
You never stop. Or you're just as dirty.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So, but servant leadership, I think that is something that is very rarely seen nowadays, especially when it comes to totality of service especially in the public service. But coming back to how we how we want to lead our usual life is that not everyone's going to be a charismatic leader. Not everyone's going to be a democratic leader or who can handle juggling opinions, everything. But each of us inherently can actually be a servant leader. You know, get the job done and serve in the best interest of the collective self-interest first. I think that is something of the most easiest way to actually be a leader is to actually practice servant leadership first.
Yeah, that's good.
Then later, you know, once you develop
Once
other
you develop
skills,
all the leadership
and then you
skills.
realize, hey, I'm actually quite charismatic. I can lead people and I can talk and do less work. And that's a different thing altogether. But everyone, I realized through what I read of Lee Kuan Yew's background and all, is that all of us actually has the potential to lead, but in a different subsegment. So anyway, that was my nutshell of learning. So that's why you don't see me in the conference.
Yeah. Because he was eating chili crabs. He was walking around,
Learning
at
history.
Jews. Yeah, he was watching Jews. All right, and then he was learning stuff outside of the medical conference.
Education comes in different areas. All right,
That's true.
Yeah,
That is true.
So anyway, one of the things, the joys about traveling is that you get to see a lot of things. And I implore people, when you travel, especially now, there's so much of opportunity to travel. Don't just box yourself into your tour group or into your conference. You know, take a look around. Pluck lessons from all around you. See how things work. See how things can be improved in your own light, in your own capacity, or at the very least, how you want to change yourself. Right. So, guys, let us know if you've traveled and you've seen any kind of things.
And what lessons
you've learned, especially notable lessons that, let's say, idealistic lessons. I think sometimes it's nice to have ideals because without them, you can't form reality.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, till then, we'll be back next week on another topic on the Two Dogs. Like, share, and subscribe our content, and we'll be back.
See you.
See you.